Hey guys, welcome to another Linux Basics series video today. In today's video, we'll be showing you two different commands that you can use on files. And one of them is grep to kind of show you how you can actually grep for specific patterns in a file to show you those specific lines that matches that pattern. Or we'll show you sort, which essentially you can sort files by in alphabetical order, numeric numbers. And so if you get like a file that you're like, hey, I want this in like alphabetical order, we can show you how you can use sort to kind of help make that file look a little bit better to read for you. So, all right, let's get started, guys. All right, so I have a file on here, and it is called listofnames.txt. So this is just a list of randomly generated names off of some random website that I found online. And essentially, you can see that there is just 12 names, I think it's 12. Give or take 12. And say, for example, we want to find everyone that has the last name Bean, right? So say this list was like a lot bigger and you had like 1,200 names. Looking through every single name to see if the last name Bean exists kind of sucks, right? But what you can do is actually use grep, and then you can type in Bean and then the file name. And this will essentially grep for any instance of Bean in this file. So in this case, you can see that Hannah Bean returns because Bean is listed. Now, this will just, in this case, it grabs any instance of Bean. So if the first name was Bean, it would also grab that. But you can also use regex and other ways to actually make it so that you can just get it. So like, for example, say we had a name and it started with Hannah and another person with the last name Hannah, right? You could do, in this case, regex, and you would say up caret and then Hannah, which would essentially say the line needs to start with Hannah, and it'll print out essentially Hannah. And if they had a last name Hannah, it would not print out. So, for example, let's add a name to show, and we can name it Tom Hannah. Yeah. And if we do our same grep, we can see that Tom Hannah doesn't appear out. But if we were to remove the starts with, it would actually appear out. So there's a lot of ways that you can use grep in this manner, and there's actually a few other things that you can do also with grep to kind of just use it to kind of sort through and find specific things that you might be looking for in a file or in processes. I use it a lot when we do process finding, and it's really useful. So that's kind of just the intro to grep. There's a lot more you can do with it, but we'll probably make like a more intermediate advanced level of using grep. The other one I want to show you is the sort command. So the sort command is actually really useful because most of us have lived in this world that it's really kind of easy to read when something's alphabetical order, versus, if I were to cat this current list, it's, starts with a D, C, G, and then you're kind of like reading off and you're like, well, alphabetical order makes a little bit more sense in your head, and you can kind of go through. So what you can actually do is use a sort command and just type in the file, list of names. And it will actually sort it by alphabetical order, in this case, by default. But you can also use different ways. There's different other sort methods. So if we were to look at the man page for sort, we can see that there are actually other parameters that we could use on how we want to sort. So like in this case, we can do like a random sort actually, so that we can shuffle certain things. We can do a reverse, so it would actually look up a reverse comparison. So it would start with Z, go through A, and there's the numeric sort, so compare the string according to numeric value. So there's a lot of different random sorts that you can do. But if you were like given a file of like 1,200 names in a thing, and you want it all in alphabetical order, you can easily just type in sort and just the list names, and it will pretty much appear in alphabetical order by first name in this case. You could do it in a different way to try to do it by last name also, but if you're just looking for a first name basis, it works out pretty well. So those are the two kind of commands that you can use if you're trying to either find certain patterns in a file or just trying to sort a file to use. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I want to see you guys in the next video. Bye.